Hello, everybody. Today we're going to learn the daily Tanya for Kaftes Iyar Tafshin Pei Daled. So yesterday we talked about the Shechina as being the source of life for everything, for all of creation. In other words, it being sort of the seat, the primary seat of Hashem's revelation, and therefore of His sort of giving of the animating force that creates the world. Right? It's sort of the seat of that. It's the seat of His will. It's the sort of purest expression of His being. It's the purest expression of His being that assumes an other. Okay? So that's a little bit difficult to understand, but sort of before the Shekhinah, we don't assume the existence of an other. We don't assume the existence of anything besides Hashem. We can't really conceive of anything that would require revelation. However, once we start talking about the Shekhinah, so we assume something that requires revelation, and that's sort of the seat, the primary, the source of all revelation, you could call it. But the Shekhinah itself, which is the beginning of revelation, and it's sort of main, the main part of it. Right? The life-giving, sort of animating force that Hashem generates and bestows upon the world. Right? So as to reveal Hashem's will. And it is the source of all of the sort of the animating force, which is sort of spreads out throughout the whole world, which animates the entire world. Because all of the animating force that they have, right? So the life of the being of all of the worlds is just but an sort of, you could imagine it as kind of a ray of light being emanated from the Shekhinah as the source of light. So that's that. אי אפשר לעולמות לסבול ולקבל אור שכינתה, שתשכון ותתלבש בתוכם ממש, בלא לבוש המעלים ומסתיר אורה מהם, right? So the worlds, you could sort of envision it as they can't stand the intensity of the life-giving force that emanates directly from the Shekhinah, but they need something to sort of, they need a kind of veil. They need a kind of an intermediate presence, let's say. Right? So what does this mean? Right? We said that the life that every creature has is sort of an impression that's left upon it by sort of the Shekhinah, which is Hashem's will. It's kind of, you could think of the Shekhinah as a stone being dropped into the water, and the life that comes to the rest of the world is the waves, as the ripples that kind of ripple out, as sort of impressions that come from it. Right, so those impressions need some kind of medium. Right, because if they don't have a medium, they just essentially won't exist. Because if they only exist as impressions, if there's no medium, then they can't exist. Like if they experience the Shekhinah directly and there's no medium, then they basically stop existing. שלא יתבטלו במציאות לגמרי במקורם, כביטול אור השמש במקור בגוף השמש, שנראה שם אור זה רק עצם גוף השמש בלבד, right? So he's saying, he gives a mashal, and he says that when you sort of look at the sun itself, you don't see the light of the sun, you just see the sun. So the light of the sun is sort of, it's being less real than the sun. You sort of don't really observe it. It becomes kind of redundant. That's sort of one way to think about it. So again, if the life that comes to the world is a kind of is a kind of impression, so again, like we said, without the medium, the impression can't exist. So that's that for today, and we'll continue tomorrow.